I think I'm late to the party. Asmongold, Asmongold left OTK. To be honest, I didn't even know he was still in OTK. Like I knew he was like CEO, but I didn't know like he does anything with him because OTK is like completely not what it was set out to be. Kind of. I don't know, but like yeah, let's see what he was saying. I don't know. I just saw yesterday the post. Now I did see that there's a video, right? I skipped a bit and I was like, wait, what? So I was like, okay, let's see what this was actually about.
You got kicked out of OTK, didn't you? Yeah, I'm not involved with OTK at all.
The way he says it also, it's like, you got kicked out of OTK, did you? And he says, yeah. Now again, we can overthink this and then like, was it a mutual decision or was he kind of like forced out? But also like, in my opinion, like he has not like OTK is not the content that honestly even when he just started OTK, what it is right now is not what, in my opinion, he made OTK for. Right. So
Pretty much. Yeah. Nope. Done. I haven't been for a while, and so yeah, I'm
yeah,
chilling.
noticeable.
So if there's
It's
something,
like the only times he was in OTK was like, well, I don't know if like the breakfast podcast he used to do with Tactone and Emmy has to do with OTK. I never watched that shit. Like, really not interested in it. And the other times he was in OTK was literally just like some gatherings that like he was like I don't know, he looked out of place because like again, he's not a social person for the most part. I would say he's social in the sense like he can talk, but I don't think he's like interested in conversations too much, let's say like that.
going on with them or anything else, that's up to them. It's not my thing. And
It's
I've been a
it's definitely not his thing. It is definitely like
very
I'll
active
talk
guy.
about like OTK later, but like I have no idea who's even watching it to be honest.
Why? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. I can talk about it just for a couple of minutes.
No.
But the main reason why is that, well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, like my content and doing like controversial political
Yeah,
content
that's 100%.
is really hard to um, like kind of synthesize with content that's not like that.
Honestly, like he puts it in a very nice way. But let's say like this: his content, I wouldn't say it's for like mature audiences, but OTK is like the opposite of mature audiences, right? Asmongold covers well games to an extent, but like most like politics that have to do with games and just overall politics, right? OTK right now is like fucking like live stream bullshit that literally like only maybe kids care about, and like the people who were watching these streamers for like the longest time, they might care about it. Live streams, if you are not familiar with the streamer, you don't give a shit about their live stream, like honestly, right? And the only ones who care about live streams are probably like kids. So yeah, this is like completely different content from what Asmongold is doing. So it's like it makes no sense at all. Now the other thing is obviously like his takes can influence the org's sponsors and all that stuff. Like it's not financially beneficial for the company. Similar thing that happened with like Forge. What is it called? Like the PC company that he had that he's I guess I don't know he was kicked out. Maybe he's like a silent partner at this point. I don't know. But all the businesses that he was publicly in, he's not anymore, right? And again, we can just blame it on like his political takes. They will lack sponsors because of it. It is what it is.
Because of just how extreme it is and how polarizing it is. So it's harder to find sponsors.
Oh,
It's harder to do things for that reason.
yeah.
And so that's one big reason. And so like I don't want to like kind of grief other people because I'm going down what I think to be the best direction for like my channel, my career, my actions, right?
I'll
Like
tell you
this
right
is
now, like the biggest issue with OTK is if I could compare it, which is kind of very ironic, OTK became what Blizzard North became in many ways. Right? Blizzard North, or what were they named before, but basically like the guys who made Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, right? And then they became officially part of like they got consumed by Blizzard. Okay? fuck, what was their name? Whatever. Anyways, so like yeah, so the company where the original makers of Diablo and Diablo 2, they got consumed by Blizzard, and then we got Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, right? So it's like literally like that's what happened with OTK. OTK started with like 5 older, well, Miskiff, so it's like, but like approaching 30 dudes who just want to play video games and talk shit. Not like, not talk shit like FaZe, but like, talk shit about games. Like just like real shit about games, right? Like how they enjoy games and like what's wrong with this game, what's like whatever, right? And then obviously like, you know, have like different streamers on and just whatever, like similar to like how Rich and Asmongold had their podcast about World of Warcraft, which was again probably the reason why they even made OTK was because of the success of that podcast, right? I don't know if I can call it a podcast, but like you get what I'm saying, right? Now, obviously, like there was the whole Rich controversy, whatever, and like he's been MIA, and like his last tweet was like, "I'll tell soon TM, I'll tell you what's up." So like, yeah, I mean, the org is not the org anymore. Tips Out is obviously like, probably like, I don't even know if Tips Out is still there, but he was like doing like just stuff in the background, like finances or like setting up other shit, like I don't know, making plans, right? He wasn't like acting participant in front of the camera compared to like other people. Miz, in my opinion, is really not interested in that content anymore. Miz just likes to troll for the most part, just like, just chill, talk with chicks, and work out, Miz wants to be a dude, and like Miz is a dude. Does Miz even play video games? I mean, aside from like the World of Warcraft thing, does he even play video games? Which is fine. Like, I'm not hating on the guy for not playing video games, but it's like, that's not what OTK was about, kind of thing. Which is, again, like the OTK moved from like its original vision, which again is fine, but in my opinion, it's like, who gives a fuck about OTK? It's like, it's just different. Like, they got extra Emily in there, which is like, again, IRL shit, right? Find her super cringe. NMP lol, again, nothing against the guy, but again, it's IRL shit, which is like not what OTK is. Emmy kind of plays video games, but again, IRL shit, right? And it feels like instead of like OTK being like a place for gamers, became a place for people who live with Miskiff, It's like it was so weird. Yeah.
What I want to do as a person. And so when I want to do that and I want to go down that path, then I'm going to do that and go down that path because I think that's the right option. But I also
It's like, is Asfen even still a part of OTK? Oh, Asfen doesn't even do anything that has to do with controversies. He just plays WoW, right? Is Asfen in OTK? Does he ever do anything with him? Like actively wanting to do stuff with them? I don't feel like he does, right? It's literally like Miskiff and Emiru. Extra Emily and NMP LOL kind of like do their own thing, but it's under the brand of OTK, which is like, I guess, ish, right? But it's like the original members are just not active participants in the org. Like, what's the point?
Else at risk in doing that, obviously. So that's why I separated myself, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. It's because, and this is a mutual thing, right? And even if it wasn't, I still would agree with it. And so the haters won. Well, it's not necessarily haters won. It's more that
technically,
a lot
yes.
of people,
But
I
technically,
don't want
yes.
to sign other people up for my battles.
I don't want to sign other people up for my battles. See, that's the thing. Like, this was your org. Like, technically, Asmongold was the face of the org. The org's goal, in my opinion, was to like, yeah, you still do your own stream. It has nothing like it, or the org is just like something you're connected with, and it's cool. Like I don't know, like this. I get it, but I feel like it's so weird. Where it's just like, bro, it's a streamer org. Like the whole point of a streamer org is to combine communities. Does he think maybe it's true that's like maybe because of what he was saying was distancing communities of the other streamers, but then it's like, why are those streamers that are so outside of your realm even in the org? That makes no sense. What, like, Emru is not a political streamer, okay? She has nothing to do, like, forget, like, yeah, OTK has nothing to do with politics. Sure, okay. Emru had nothing to do with World of Warcraft. She's nowhere near what the audience is for Esfand, for Asmon, for Rich at the time. It was just basically like balding fucking 30-year-old men. Okay, that was like the main core audience that OTK that was OTK. And honestly, like, I would say like most Esfand viewers are probably Asmongold viewers, and most of Asmongold viewers are Esfand viewers, and like vice versa. And it's like you're trying to mix so much. They literally try to do what they're telling games not to do. Don't try to make a game for everyone, because a game that is for everyone is a game for no one. And at some point, I am not sure exactly when, probably NMP LOL when he joined, and again, nothing against the guy. I just think the content that he's doing is different, is a different vibe, and like he has completely different viewers to what the original founders, had. Right? Emerald, completely different audience. Extra Emily, like, fuck, man, like, I don't even know who watches. I have a hate boner against. I don't know. I have no, like, she's just cringe. But like, yeah, and then they had, I think Chase is there, right? Soda Poppin probably fits in there, but like, he fits within that crowd, and I think that would have been fine. But it's like the more they expanded, the more problematic it became. They're literally an organization that became for all types of stream consumers. Therefore, they're not for any specific stream consumer. Now, again, they also had like funny content, like Schooled and stuff. But again, this is where the streamer collab comes in, and that would have been fine. But it stopped being that. It just became Misgif is has like, I don't know what's their name, Alinity on his couch, whatever, and they're just talking shit, right? And like Jessica Nigri comes sometimes, and that OnlyFans chick that plays WoW with the big nose and the big boobs, whatever. I don't remember her name. Vandy, yeah. Okay, so Vandy's there. Like, it's like sometimes what do you call her? Fuck man. Main Pokilol, whatever. So she drops off, right? She drops in, right? So it's like Misgift became like, and honestly, even like Schooled was like practically probably a Misgift thing, right? So it's like, I don't know. It feels like, was there even an org at any point? They had the Gamer Awards, which honestly probably like the only thing that was probably like seemed an OTK-ish. Everything else was kind of like, I honestly thought they made the org in part also to help bring up new streamers, right? To give them some line, stuff like that. I thought it was like more of a, I mean, yeah, it's a business and it was supposed to make money, but I feel like they were there to like highlight and help newer streamers, not just circle jerk the streamers that are already on their level, like the top 0.0001% of streamers. Right. And like, I don't know, I had like a different feel for what OTK was supposed to be, so I don't know. It's weird. Let's see what this is.
This is going to be kind of a big thing, right? But I view getting involved with all of that stuff as being one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made in my entire life. I do.
Why?
And I don't regret doing it.
It's not a mistake.
I think I needed to have done it in order to know that it was a mistake.
Yes, it's not a mistake.
But I had everything. I had everything good. Everything was fine. I was happy. My channel was doing great, and I didn't understand the amount of social pressure and social obligations that it would put on me. And that amount of social pressure and social obligations that it put on me were massively emotionally devastating. Is that's too extreme.
I honestly think it's only because the organization grew to what it did. I think it was just the original 5 people. Or the original 5 people. Yeah, like this room. This is what, in my opinion, OTK was about. Some hairy, balding gamers. Now, obviously, Miskiff at this point, probably at current Miskiff, would probably not fit anymore because his vision for stream is very different. It's not so much games. It's more IRL, but it's more dude, right? This looks like a gamer. This looks like a gamer. Let's not talk about it. And it's the serious type, but like still gamer, right? Like, well, gamer, MMORPG gamers, not Nintendo gamers. And again, the content that Asmongold was doing, like the games that he was doing, from World of Warcraft to the Souls-like and stuff like that, that is like, it's still this very similar core audience, right? Even Final Fantasy XIV, similar core audience. It wasn't, and again, I love that Miskiff is doing workout streams and shit like that, like at the gym, that he opened the gym. I think that's fucking fantastic, right? But that's not, I don't think that relates as well. It could be something like a side project, like something like, extra, but, and you can still kind of relate it into that org, but like, I don't see an Emiru fitting in this room. I don't see an extra Emily. I don't see an MP LOL fitting in here. Okay, like that makes it just makes absolutely no sense that they would. And even now, Soda Pop, in my opinion, doesn't fit in this room. He's too politically correct. He stays away from controversies, right? And it's like, okay, well, Esfand stays away from controversies, not because he like avoids them. It's just not the content he does. Whereas like Chase is like, he would actively avoid it, right? Whenever there was like a hard discussion about something about Asmongold, he would just avoid it, right? Like, from my experience, I could be wrong. That's the vibe I'm getting from him. Is like, yeah, the only controversies I'm part of is stuff to do with like OnlyFans, right? But it's like, as soon as it comes to like, men versus women or like politics and gaming, nah, right? Whereas like Esfand would just be like, yeah, not my thing, whatever, and just move on, right? It's just like, I don't know. I get a different vibe from Esfand. He's like the friendly giant than I get from Chase, who's just like, I don't know, avoiding it. This obviously controversy, and Tim, what's his name? Tips. Tips is just always in the background, so it didn't matter, right? But again, this is what OTK was. Whatever it is now, I don't even know. OTK current members, images. Oh, we can do all. So Asfand is still there. Extra Emily. Asmongold is not there. Tecton, I think, quit. Is Maya still there? Okay, this is like definitely wrong. Okay, every member of OTK network. Again, IRL streamer. Right. IRL, semi IRL. Tectone, I think he's out, but like, I don't know. Different vibe. Chase is Chase. And Miskiff is more towards IRL, but still like, dude. I don't know, man. Like, it's a weird combination of talent. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Extreme of a word, right? That's like you explaining a bomb. But like, they were corrosive to me, and they really, really negatively affected my mental stating. Is that's too extreme of a word, right? That's like you explaining a bomb.
Oh, the social.
But like, they were corrosive to me, and they really, really negatively affected my mental, And I ended up going through with things and doing things and streaming in cases where I really kind of didn't really want to, or I needed to step away. And it basically overcommitted me to a lot of social events and social activities that I'm not comfortable doing. And
Yeah.
I didn't really understand that it was that bad for me until I was in it and I was doing it. And I was like, okay, well, fuck. Like, I'm stuck doing this thing. And like, and I did it for a very, very long time because
Yeah, you owned a business. Yes, you owned a business and you tried to run it instead of getting a manager that would do it for you. Yeah, that's usually how it is.
I felt like I had an obligation to the people that put their trust in me. And I did that for as long as I possibly could.
So, I mean, in many ways you can view it as in like, oh, he spoiled whatever. But honestly, the way I see it is like he didn't need like he wanted to do OTK to just have something cool with the buddies, like with the friends, maybe eventually like move into like a fucking neighborhood where they all like, all the houses are like one in front of the other and they just like chill all the time and they work together because it's fun. He obviously didn't expect it to or didn't plan for it to be what it was. Right? So it's like, yeah, I get it. At the same time, it's like, well, you have an organization, you're gonna have to do social events, yada yada yada. He doesn't have to. Like that's the thing. That's like like, guy's a millionaire. He doesn't need to make like. Why would he put in effort in doing these things, which clearly he doesn't even enjoy? Like all these social events. Why would he put an effort into it where he's like he can literally like stop streaming and he will be okay because of how he lives. He probably invested all of his money. He's getting a monthly salary from his bank just from percentage and he easily lives off that. Okay, he has like no expenses. His money does not go down unless he goes into like weird ventures, which is like what OTK would be. OTK in fact probably did more harm to his finances than good. Okay, in terms of like, you know, not just financial, but like mental plus financial versus just like the financial. Like maybe he gained some money, but it's not enough to offset the issues that it also caused him and like the mental fatigue and all that shit, right? It is due to a desire for freedom in content without roping his friends into drama. And it's mutual. I know a lot of people are trying to create the narrative that my friends are betraying me. So regarding OTK, I don't think that. Regarding Starforge PCs, regarding Starforge PCs, I did think that. Him being pushed aside with Starforge PCs, which by the way was not something where he needed to be social, I think that was bad. I don't even know if like it impacted. I would only assume that Starforge PCs was poorly impacted by him being shoved to the side. Mutual, not mutual, we all know exactly why, when it happened, which is like, call it mutual all you want. If the controversy wasn't there about whatever it was, something political, then there wouldn't be, like, he wouldn't be pushed aside, right? Let's be real. So, yeah. Hilarious how now that he has an audience, he randomly starts leaning into weird political bullshit, hoping the fans he garnered from gaming will abide by anything this roach-infested tart says. Yeah, see, like, this is just like a pure hater that doesn't even know, like, he has no idea about Asmongold, right? What do you mean he randomly starts leaning into weird political bullshit? He's been doing that for the last, like, 8 years. 9 years. Since, like, probably before, honestly, but probably like since Trump was running for president. Reader's gonna need the subreddit. If you watch any streamer beside Degen streams, you must be a parasocial nerd. Like imagine watching NMP or that Asian girl. We need Mitch Jones era Twitch to come back. Yeah. Yeah, like that's the thing, which is like this is so like NMP, LOL, and Extra Emily, I'm assuming he's talking about, or maybe he's even talking about the what is she, Filipino or whatever? I don't even know. That he has a massive crush on, whatever, Catchy or whatever. Yeah, if you're watching that, like, bro, like that's super weird. Like, I don't understand watching that kind of shit. But again, to each his own. But the whole point, like, when people watch stuff like Mitch Jones. It's basically just like it was a comedy show, right? You're just watching some weird fucking like comedy show. It wasn't about being personal with the streamer, right? It's just you're watching something, maybe you like somebody's opinion, whatever, but it's not like trying to live their life with them. That's so weird. It's all just stupid. I do get the sponsor thing. I don't understand. Most OTK members are doing better than they ever have. No. Anna would have encouraged him to stay. The name OTK will have no weight to it now. Yeah, I mean, it didn't have a weight to it for a while now. OTK a while ago, but another OTK streamer was talking about something needs to change in OTK just last week. Did the streamer not know? Oh yeah, there was the streamer who said like he needs to face some consequences for what he's saying. What the fuck? Like, why are they hanging out with like? See what I mean? Like, it's like you're hanging out with these people. It's like, bro, he started this organization. It's like, well, I don't even know if she's affiliated, but like she's sitting in like NMP LOL's car and she's saying this shit. It's like he needs to face consequences for what he's saying. No, bitch, this is free speech country. What the fuck are you on about? What do you mean face consequences? That's so weird. I think she said like word for word that he needs to feel pain. Like what the fuck? Go on there for sure. As long as Asmongold and Emir continue their steak and eggs podcast, I'm happy. That's the thing. It's like, is steak and eggs have to do with OTK or it's just their thing? I don't watch it either way, so it's like, you know, end of an era. Yeah, a while ago. What are these blue dots? I don't know. Good for him, but it certainly seemed like a good decision while it was easy going. He made a lot of money and he still did whatever content he wanted. I don't even know, like, again, I don't know if OTK really made him money. I honestly feel like he didn't gain any new viewers from these guys. They, to an extent, gained viewers from him. You know? I don't see any of these guys, maybe Tectone, which is kind of odd to say, but like maybe Tectone viewers would add Asmongold to the view list. Everyone else either already was watching these guys, like anyone who watched Asfen knew of Asmongold, so it's like they already knew of him. I don't see NMP LOL viewers watching Asmongold. I don't see Emiru viewers, like let's be real, we all know what Emiru viewers are there for. Okay, watching Asmongold, right? Miski viewers, unlikely as well. Seer, I think his name is, unlikely, right? Rich and Asmon already had the same viewership. And Schlatt. Schlatt, I don't know, I think he's more of a just trolley kind of thing, right? Just like have fun, talk shit. Which again, probably not similar. So yeah, I don't know if he gained anything out of them, but yeah. Either way, honestly, and man, this is gonna come off really fucking wrong when I say it. When the thing with Rich came out, I was gonna word it differently, but like when the thing with Rich happened and Rich was kicked out of OTK and Asmongold stopped being friends with Rich, when that happened, in my opinion, was like the coffin for OTK was getting prepared, right? Not because Rich was holding it together or whatever, but it's like it started to like fall apart and crumble. Okay, and yeah, man, an attempt was made. That's all I can say about that. An attempt was made, but it's really hard to find streamers that are just like playing video games that are responsible enough, like mature enough to actually run a business. Now you have like maybe it's like somebody like Nash, forgot his full name. He does like commentary, like talks businesses, he talks investments or whatever. He talks like how to start streaming, like whatever. Like he was doing all of this. Him, yeah, he can probably run a business. He's more mature, more serious guy. But it's like XQC running a business, you know, Asmongold running a business, you know, right? He might like he's mature in his talk, but like in terms of like personality, like bro, I'm like I probably cannot run a business. Like I don't want to deal with it, right? It's like too much of a hassle, right? Not everyone's built for it. Not everyone wants to deal with that shit, right? I don't think Asmongold is built for it, for owning a like actively owning a business, all going to office, being a CEO, answering a lot of calls, having to take responsibility for actions in the business. Like that's too much. I don't think he's made for it. XQC not made for it. Train maybe, you know. But like majority streamers that are just like their focus is like video games, bro. Like don't expect them to run a proper business. Like let's be real. Let us be serial.